Namaskara to all my story lovers. Welcome back in Storytime channel. I'm Pallavi reading interesting stories book for you. Today I'm reading The Temple Without a Deity, written by the great Sudha Murty and taken from the book The Daughter from the Wishing Tree. Now let's go to the story. There once lived a tribal chief named Vishwavasu who worshipped the statue of the powerful, wish fulfilling god Nila Madhava. Vishwavasu's tribe was located near the bluish grey stone range of mountains named Niladri or Nilachala in today's state of Odisha. In those days, Odisha was known as Kalinga, and the vast empire was ruled by a king named Indradyumna. When the king heard of the powerful presence of the god in the statue, he wanted to install the deity in his kingdom, and so he sent word to Vishwavasu. The tribal chief, however, flatly refused. "This is our God, and we cannot send him away," he said. Indradyumna was desperate to obtain the deity and assigned the task to his smart younger brother Vidyapati. Disguised as a priest, Vidyapati made his way to the tribe and learned that the statue was securely kept in a cave in the deepest part of the forest. Vishwavasu was aware of the king's yearning for the deity and visited the god with utmost secrecy. Vidyapati tried his best to find the location of the statue, but no avail. The tribal chief was too smart, and the details of the deity's exact location had been told only to a few trusted men. Vidyapati thought, "I must find a way to get into the inner circle of the chief's men." He began devising a plan. Vishwavasu had a beautiful daughter named Lalita, and the king's brother knew that this could be a way to get to the sculpture of Nila Madhava. So Vidyapati charmed Lalita so much that she fell in love with him and insisted on marrying him. Vishwavasu was loving father and gave in to his daughter's request. Soon the two were married. Still, Vidyapati didn't get an opportunity to see the deity. Time passed, and his new setting. Vidyapati noticed that his father in law disappeared every fortnight and came back the next morning. Sensing an opportunity, Vidyapati said to his wife, "Lalita, I am your husband, so I would like to worship the family god. Will you take me to the holy Nila Mahadeva?" Innocent Lalita believed her husband and approached her father. At first he refused her request, but Lalita persisted until he finally said, "I will blindfold your husband and take him to the deity. Then I will remove the blindfold and he can worship the Lord. After that, I will blindfold him again and bring him back here." Vidyapati was ecstatic at the news. This was his chance. The next fortnight, when Vishwavasu took him to the cave blindfolded, Vidyapati carried a bag of mustard seeds with a hole in the bottom. The seeds dropped slowly to the ground all the way to the cave. There, Vidyapati worshipped the deity and came back as planned. Then he waited for the season of rain that was about to come. Soon, with a heavy rainfall, mustard seeds began to germinate and yellow flowers danced in the air. When the time was right, Vidyapati followed the mustard plants, reached the cave, stole Nila Madhava, and hurriedly went back to the city of Puri. As soon as King Indradyumna heard the news of his brother's arrival, he went to him, hoping to see the Lord, but alas, the statue was nowhere to be found. It seemed to have disappeared. The king was utterly disappointed. I will not stop until I see the deity, he cried out. I will fast until death. Suddenly, a celestial voice boomed. The statue is hidden in the sand. You may view it tomorrow. The following day, at the break of dawn, the king ran to the beach. However, he saw only a log of wood. The celestial voice again instructed the king, pray to Vishwakarma, the architect of the heavens. He will help you. And so Indradyumna began his prayers in earnest. While he was praying, a mysterious old man arrived. He had an eternal presence and calm demeanor. The man told Indradyumna that he would convert the divine log of wood into three statues of Jagannath, a form of Vishnu, Balabhadra, Krishna's brother Balarama, and Subhadra, Krishna's sister. However, the old man set condition, I will help you, dear king, but I must do my work with the door closed. Nobody must disturb me until I am done. I shall open the door myself once the task is complete. King Indradyumna was ecstatic and agreed to the condition. The work began, and few months passed. Neither did the door open even once, nor was there a request for food. What's more, there was no sound from the inside. Indradyumna and his wife, the queen, became anxious. What if the old man has died? The queen wondered. Let's open the door, she said to the king. At first, the king resisted, but after much coaxing, he gave in. The soldier forced their way inside the room and found that the statues were not yet complete. The king, who had accompanied his men, saw that old man was no longer there, but instead saw Vishwakarma. He instantly realized that it was the architecture of heavens who had been the one working on statues. Your foolishness has forced me to leave the work half done. The statues will now remain like this with no hands, thundered Vishwakarma. However, Lord Jagannath, being as compassionate as he is, will still bless the kingdom. Vishwakarma disappeared, and the half made wooden statues remained in the inner sanctum of the room. Today, if you visit the Jagannath temple in Odisha, you will see three deities without their hands. Though the statues were incomplete, Indradyumna was still very grateful that the Lord was ensuring the protection of everybody in his kingdom. He declared, whoever rules the kingdom of Kalinga must remember that he is not the owner of the empire. The owner is Lord Jagannath, and we are his servants. To showcase his genuine sentiment, each king must clean the chariot himself before the annual chariot festival, which we shall call the Rath Yatra. The generation that came after Indradyumna followed his instruction. Among these rulers was a brave prince, Purushotama Deva, who was powerful and just leader of the empire. The prince's royal family considered Jagannath to be their master. In order to show his humility and obedience, the prince would sweep the chariot with a golden broom every year, indicating to the world and his subjects that he was a mere servant of the Lord. In time, he heard of the beautiful Padmavati, the princess of Kanchipuram, and through his officials sent word of marriage proposal to her. The princess, however, became enraged and declared in open court, "How can I marry a royal scavenger who sweeps the ground with a golden broom?" The news reached the prince instantly, and he decided to teach the princess a lesson. He invaded Kanchipuram, defeated the king, imprisoned Padmavati, and brought her back to Puri. He took nothing else from the kingdom. Back in the capital, and without even seeing the prince instructed his chief minister, "Please ensure that this arrogant princess is married to a scavenger as soon as possible." Luckily for him, the chief minister of Kalinga was a wise old man. He knew that sometimes people spoke and acted in anger without understanding the consequences. Padmavati had surely made an error by looking down upon the prince in public, but she also did not deserve such a dire punishment. So the chief minister hid her from the prince and kept her safely. He taught her how to be modest and merciful to others. Over time, Padmavati learned much from the wise man and regretted her vain behavior. The next year, at the chariot festival, the prince arrived in a spotless white outfit, armed with a golden broom. As always, he began cleaning the chariot speedily. Suddenly, a beautiful maiden approached him, and before he could gather his thoughts, she garlanded him. The prince stopped in his tracks. He asked her, "Who are you, young maiden? How dare you garland me?" The princess said in a shy and quiet voice, "I am your wife now, since I have completed one of the ceremonies necessary for a marriage." The prince was furious. Just then the chief minister intervened. "Sir, this is a Padmavati, the princess of Kanchipuram." The king had almost forgotten about her. "I told you to marry her off to a scavenger," he yelled at minister. "Why isn't she married yet?" The chief minister was calm. "But sir, I have fulfilled your instructions. You are carrying a golden broom and you have just swept the chariot. You are indeed a scavenger to God, and now she is married to you." The prince was surprised by this turn of events. He realized that the chief minister had made the right decision, and he pardoned Padmavati. The minister added, "Oh dear prince, you must never do anything in anger or in a hurry. Important decisions that affect people's lives must be deliberated over with care and concern. May Lord Jagannath protect both of you, and may you live happily ever after." Even today, the head of the royal family in Puri cleans the chariot every year with a golden broom at the beginning of the Rath Yatra. There are three chariots in the Yatra, one for the Krishna, one for Balabhadra, and one for Subhadra. The wooden deities are placed on the chariots and taken to the end of the road to their aunt's house, Gundecha temple, where the statues are installed for a week before and being returned to their original home. This is the only temple in India that doesn't have its deities for an entire week. Do you like this story? Then tell me in the comment box and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching, guys.